This is not my real PC. It's ugly, barely stable, and somehow it works. Due to some unfortunate circumstances, I'm waiting for my dream parts to arrive, and I built this temporary test bench using leftovers, good deals that I had, and a GPU that probably costs more than everything else combined. See, the thing is, I can't just not game for like 2 weeks, and I can't just not put out a video for you guys. So I raided my shelf, borrowed parts from the past, and built what I call the emergency room PC. It's got a Ryzen 5 5600, 16GB of DDR4 3200 CL16, an old Asus B350 M-A motherboard that has been with me for so long from the pre-pandemic era, and this monster, the RX 9070 XT. You know, this wasn't even meant to be that hard, but I think all that scrolling on Instagram Reels has given me a bit of brain rot. The first motherboard that I use, I completely forgot is faulty, and I had to redo everything again. The second motherboard, yeah, it's not working as well. So there I am, thinking, oh god, back to the good old Asus B350 M-A, which honestly at this point could be called old reliable. You know, building this PC really isn't that difficult, and using a test bench means that there's no cable management whatsoever. But what's there not to love about our little janky setup? I didn't expect much in terms of performance, but our little guy has something to prove to us. Esport titles, no problem. Cyberpunk, surprisingly smooth. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart runs really nicely. The Last of Us Part 1 looks pretty good. Spider-Man Remastered plays well. And to me, it runs faster than my friend's $3,000 pre-built PC. Yeah, that's right, you know who you are. You know, I was pleasantly surprised with this PC. 16GB of RAM does feel limiting, especially on my workload, but I think in terms of gaming, the 5600 has done a decent job at holding its own with the RX 9070 XT. Although I am leaving a lot of performance on the table by using this entry-level CPU. It's good to know as well that the RX 9070 XT is on PCIe 3.0, which should limit its bandwidth a little bit, but I will do full benchmarks with my RX 9070 XT once I get all of my parts in for my new build. You know, most people just wait for their perfect setup to arrive, but honestly, sometimes a scuff build like this reminds me of how far you can stretch older parts. It reminds me of the old times, putting stuff together secondhand and just seeing if it works. When I was a kid, one of the first PCs that I worked on was a computer that I literally picked up from a dump, a literal rubbish site. It had a dual Xeon setup with a very basic graphics card. I believe it was an HP ProLiant if I'm not mistaken. You know, something like this, it's not about flexing, it's just about making it work. But this is not even its final form. Oh no, not even close. This is just the warm-up. The RX 9070 XT is about to get one hell of a treatment. What's coming next is going to be wild, so subscribe if you guys want to see me hopefully not destroy my PC once again. So yeah, this is my in-between PC, you know, just to hold me over until my new parts arrive. It's a Frankenstein monster that cost me my finger and is a result of my own fault. At least I get a nice upgrade, although it does do the job pretty well, to be honest with you guys. If you've ever had to build a PC out of desperation, tell me what you guys have used. I can guarantee you I have some more janky setups that I've built in the past, which even includes zip tying a GPU to a case. So that about sums it up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!